Hello, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. I appreciate it very much. I hope you're having a fantastic past 10 minutes and a goddamn horrible day. If you've seen any of my other content before, you can tell this video is kind of different. Normally, I'm a degenerate who was trying to make some degenerate and entertaining content, but this is different. I want to talk about something that I'm extremely passionate about and something that I find really entertaining and interesting and fascinating. Those two kind of like mean the same thing, but whatever. I'm extremely passionate about YouTube live streaming and very excited for the future of it. I have 1000% faith that YouTube has the ability to rise up and become the top streaming platform. Now, I know what you're thinking. You can just say that to convince people to come over to the platform so you can grow as a YouTube streamer. And what about it? What's wrong with that? Say something. I dare you. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what I think YouTube live streaming needs in order to grow in the West, specifically to the point where people are able to associate it with streaming like they do with Twitch. Am I going to go down a whole list of everything they should do? No, I'm just going to throw out some ideas that I think I would do pretty well, maybe. Now, before I go into the details, I want to make note that I will not be mentioning anything that is already confirmed to be coming. If you guys aren't aware, Fwaze, the head of YouTube Gaming, came out with a video and blog post explaining what is to come out for YouTube live streaming in 2022. I recommend you check both those things out, links in the description, so you can find that there. You will hear me mention some things he talks about, but only to relate to the point that I'm talking about. All right, to just jump into it, the first thing I want to talk about is what I think YouTube needs in order to make small creators looking to grow as a streamer choose their platform. We've recently seen very large streamers move from Twitch to YouTube, which is like cool for sure. And it definitely helps a lot of people get comfortable using YouTube to watch streams. However, when talking about creators, in my eyes, this doesn't mean much for the smaller ones who are already looking to grow as a streamer. You know, these large creators already have massive audiences that they can just bring over and will pretty much follow them everywhere. A lot of people and most people don't have that. Right now, Twitch is known as the place for small streamers to be, mainly due to like networking raids, you know, stuff like that. But we all know YouTube is one of the best platforms for growth, and Twitch is one of the worst. So even though we know this, why do small streamers, some who have massive potential, why do they still choose Twitch? In my opinion, this is because most people are followers. They won't try something until it's already been done. In the West, as far as I'm aware, maybe just me, maybe there is somebody this person exists, we don't have a person who grew from nothing to being the next, I don't know, XQC, Ludwig, by being a YouTube streamer. Now, a lot of people are going to point to people like Gargura and other VTubers who went from 0 to a bajillion subs by being a streamer, and I would argue that they're a little bit different because of the huge audience that surrounds those VTuber companies. The type of person that I'm referring to is a nobody who starts off as a nobody and then grows their way into a somebody whilst using their own ingenuity and scraping together an audience that they didn't already have, with most of their content revolving around their YouTube live streams. That includes videos, obviously live streams, and like shorts. As far as I'm aware, in the West, this person does not exist. And until this person does exist, a lot of smaller streamers on Twitch will continue to disregard YouTube regardless of those creators moving over. So what's the solution then, you ask? What should YouTube do to ensure the highest possibility of success for the next star to emerge as a YouTube live streamer specifically? All right, real quickly, if you guys are liking Big Brain Nick and not Degenerate Nick, feel free to subscribe and like the video because that helps me a lot. It tells YouTube, oh, you're really cool. We should make you more cool. And I want to be more cool and you want to be more cool and you're helping me make you more cool. Anyways, I appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. All right, I'm going to keep talking now. That is a very big question. The short answer, and really honestly the only answer, is to improve their platform to incentivize viewers and talented creators to use it for live streaming. They're already doing a lot of things that are going to help with this. One of them, like I mentioned, is gathering a large streamer with big audiences to help get more people used to using YouTube as a platform to watch streams. Make no mistake, as a viewer, the platforms are very different and the layout can be off-putting for some people, so it's important to get people comfortable with it and warm up to it. But just because there's a lot of viewers that are coming over to watch big streamers, that does not necessarily mean that they will trickle down to watch a smaller creator's content. Another one they're doing is improving the discoverability of live streams, which I assume is through buffs to the recommendation algorithm for YouTube live streams. So what ideas do I have to incentivize new viewers and content creators to come over to the platform? In my opinion, YouTube's biggest tool in their toolbox is their discovery, something that Twitch lacks badly. There are two things that I want to talk about here that I don't think are really being mentioned all that much. First, a directory. Now, let me completely finish before I get roasted. I'm very aware that an algorithmic recommendation system is vastly superior to a browsable directory in terms of growth, but I think an algorithmic recommendation system does not cater to active discoverability. And I mean people searching out for creators to watch, specifically live streamers. I'm referring to live streamers in this case. It's more like it helps people find creators on accident or like passively, rather than search for new ones. Like I said, especially when it comes to live streams. The real only discoverability on Twitch is the directory. Yeah, they have a recommendation page at the front, but I think it's terrible and really only shows like larger creators. You get the average like 15 viewer Andy every once in a while, but at least mine is just all like big streamers. And I don't really watch very many big streamers. But yeah, the directory. This is something that people on Twitch are very used to. And I would go as far as to say that because of this and because they're used to it this much, a directory is what many people associate with discoverability when it comes to live streaming. I personally found a lot of my content creator friends through just randomly browsing a directory. Since this is almost all Twitch has, a decent amount of viewers probably found streamers this way as well. Not just me, especially big ones. Obviously, it's meant to help the big ones. And I've seen this all over from small streamers on Twitter. So many people associate no directory with no discoverability, which is obviously not true. But they associate this regardless of the algorithmic recommendation system that YouTube has. Does that make sense? No. Is it what people do? Yes. Now, I know what maybe like 3 or 4 of you watching this video are going to say. Trust me, I do. But hear me out. Yes, there actually is a browsable directory, almost just like Twitch when it comes to live streams. But first, let me show you what the live tab looks like when I click on it on the side menu. Look, it's random recommendations. That's about it. Like, I don't even watch any of these videos, any of these people. Sorry, Tim. Where is the directory? Not in the live tab, that's for sure. It makes sense. That's where it would be, right? Well, you see, it's actually in the gaming tab, right above it. It's hidden. It's hidden in the gaming tab. That's all the way at the bottom left of your menu, all the way down. I remember a few months ago, I asked my YouTube chat, which is around like 40 people at the time, if they knew it even existed, and I showed them where it was. And almost every single one of them had no idea it was A, there, and B, existed in the first place. And that is because, like I said, it is hidden. I genuinely think it'd be very beneficial to throw the directory in the live tab, or even just link it in the live tab, and then put that in a way more visible spot so you don't have to scroll all the way down, preferably placing it at the top. Now, if most of your discoverability will come from YouTube recommendations and the search bar, the superior discoverability system, correct? Why does a browsable directory matter? Simple. It's about image. If people see that there's a directory and it's easy to spot and easy to access, that notion of low discoverability for live streams will eventually be squashed. And many people will be more open to A, using YouTube to find creators, and B, streaming on YouTube if they think they can be discovered easily. What I think would happen is that after a certain amount of time, people would realize that YouTube's recommendation system is superior, and the myth about a lack of discoverability on YouTube would be dispelled. Keep in mind, this is for more people to use YouTube to stream and create content and to visit it as a viewer. This is obviously not the best method to grow. Relying on a directory is a terrible method to grow a stream. Video content and shorts are going to be instrumental in doing that. What I'm talking about is to incentivize more viewers and users to go to YouTube to consume and create live stream content. The second and last thing I want to talk about relating to discoverability is your similar content being centralized. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's first talk about the opposite. A lot of larger creators very much separate the 3 main forms of content. Let's take a look at 2 examples. Tim the Tatman and Ludwig. First, let's look at Tim. Tim has a bunch of channels. Let's look at 3 of them. Tim the Tatman for his live streams and archives, Tim the Tatman 2 for his video content, and Tim the Tatman Shorts for his short form content. If we look at Ludwig's channel, he more or less does the exact same thing, except he streams on his video channel and uploads his VOD archives to a VODs channel. Now, why do I think centralized content is important, and why do these creators do this? I think centralizing similar content is important because for growth, it is vital that we remove as few barriers as possible when it comes to the viewer deciding to stick around and visit the source material after viewing a piece of content. Many intellectuals like Harris Heller have talked about this problem when Twitch streamers would use TikTok or YouTube to drive traffic to their Twitch. Succeeding in this fashion is very hard. The more barriers that are up, the less willing people are to make it all the way through them. They're essentially asking viewers to not only go to a different channel, but to go to a whole different platform for the source content. Now I'm going to touch back on that here in a bit. Now, as for why content creators separate content into different channels, we can deduce 2 main reasons for this. The first one, clutter. Now, you can separate videos into playlists on the homepage, but a lot of people, including myself, will instantly go to the video tab and see what the person's videos are, right? And there is not a way to separate and organize and get rid of the clutter inside the video tab if all 3 forms of content are public. Lots of creators, such as Harris Heller, like I was talking about earlier, often unlist their streams and put them into some sort of streams playlist on the homepage, which I think is a shame, but honestly, I understand why he does it. I do the same thing, unless they're like collabs or something like that. Mixing videos, archives, and shorts in one video tab is really, really messy and disgusting. I think this especially holds true if you do an equal amount of all three. And all the thumbnails are different depending on what type of video it is. Because if you look at the people who separate their channels, their thumbnails on each of the different channels look very different sometimes. Something I really think would help with this is a whole separate tab for all of these other things. One for home, one for videos, one for live streams, one for shorts, one for clips, community, and so on and so on. I seriously think this would be a really good way to solve the organization issue while letting people keep things like live streams public. Now back to what we were talking about earlier, since everything would be on YouTube and in different tabs, but of the same channel, not only do shorts and video viewers not have to visit a whole other platform to find the source live stream content, but they get to even stay on the same channel. The second reason we can deduce as for why content creators split up their stuff is because the algorithm treats each type of video differently. Or more likely, because the length, watch time, and percent view duration is so different for all three types of videos, the YouTube algorithm doesn't know what to do and shits itself. So by dedicating a whole channel for each type of content, videos, live streams, / archives, and shorts, the algorithm can be consistent for each type. Now, I don't have a good solution for this one because I'm not a programmer or algorithm warlord, but who knows, maybe like selecting a video label or something will be like, oh, you selected this as a live stream, we'll treat it like a live stream. Or, oh, you selected this as a short, we'll treat it like a short. Or, oh, you selected this as a normal video, we'll treat it like a normal video. You know, maybe just the label tells YouTube how to treat the video. I don't know. That could be a good idea or not. Could be complete BS. Could be absolute genius. I don't know. I just threw something out, improvised that. In Fwizz's video, he mentioned that making live streams more discoverable was something they were working on for 2022. Maybe this is related. Who knows? I don't know. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for this video. If somebody from YouTube sees this, you know, Pog, if you've already seen a video that has everything I've already said, or you've talked to a creator and they've said everything that I've said as well, then here's my unoriginal video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope I get to hear your opinions down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much because that really tells YouTube that this video is very Pog and very cool, especially if you watch all the way through. If you watch all the way through, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter and subscribe right here. Streams often. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.